Page 41. The warrior of light sometimes behaves like water, flowing around the obstacles he encounters. Occasionally, resisting might mean being destroyed, and so he adapts to the circumstances. He accepts without complaint that the stones along the path hinder his way across the mountains. Therein lies the strength of water. It cannot be shattered by a hammer or wounded by a knife. The strongest sword in the world cannot scar its surface. The waters of a river adapt themselves to whatever routes proves possible, but never forgets its one objective, the sea. So fragile at its source, it gradually gathers the strength of the other rivers it encounters. And after a certain point, its power is absolute. Page 42. For the warrior of light, there are no abstractions. Everything is concrete and everything is meaningful. He does not sit comfortably in his tent, observing what is going on in the world. He accepts each challenge as an opportunity to transform himself. Some of his companions spend their lives moaning about their lack of choice or passing comment on the decisions made by other people. The warrior, however, transforms his thinking into action. Sometimes he chooses the wrong goal and pays the price for his mistake without complaint. At others, he swerves from the path and wastes a great deal of time only to end up back where he started. But the warrior never allows himself to be discouraged. Page 43. The warrior of light has the qualities of a rock. When he is on flat terrain, everything around him is in harmony and he remains stable. People can build their houses upon him, and the storm will not destroy them. When, however, he is placed on a slope, and the things around him show neither balance nor respect, then he reveals his strength. He rolls towards the enemy that is threatening his peace. At such moments, the warrior is a devastating force, and no one can stop him. A warrior of light thinks about both war and peace and knows how to act in accordance with the circumstances. Page 44. A warrior of light who trusts too much in his intelligence will end up underestimating the power of his opponent. It is important not to forget that sometimes strength is more effective than strategy. A bullfight lasts 15 minutes. The bull quickly learns that it is being tricked, and its next step is to charge the bullfighter. When that happens, no amount of brilliance, argument, intelligence, or charm can avert tragedy. That is why the warrior never underestimates brute force. When it proves too violent, he withdraws from the battlefield until his enemy has exhausted himself. Page 45. The warrior of light knows when an enemy is stronger than he is. If he decides to confront him, he will be destroyed instantly. If he responds to his provocations, he will fall into a trap. So he uses diplomacy to resolve the difficult situation in which he finds himself. When the enemy behaves like a baby, he does the same. When he challenges him to a fight, he pretends not to understand. His friend says he is a coward, but the warrior pays no attention. He knows that all the rage and courage of a little bird are as nothing to a cat. In such situations, The warrior remains patient. The enemy will soon go off in search of others to provoke. Page 46. A warrior of light is never indifferent to injustice. He knows that all is one and that each individual action affects everyone on the planet. That is why, when confronted by the suffering of others, he uses his sword to restore order. But even though he fights against oppression, at no point does he attempt to judge the oppressor. Each person will answer for his actions before God, and so, once the warrior has completed his tasks, he makes no further comment. A warrior of light is in the world in order to help his fellow man, and not in order to condemn his neighbor. Page 47. A warrior of light is never cowardly. Flight might be an excellent form of defense, but it cannot be used when one is very afraid. When in doubt, the warrior prefers to face defeat and then lick his wounds, because he knows that if he flees, he is giving to the aggressor greater power than he deserves. In difficult and painful times, the warrior faces overwhelming odds with heroism, resignation, and courage. Page 48. A warrior of light is never in a hurry. Time works in his favor. He learns to master his impatience and avoids acting without thinking. By walking slowly, he becomes aware of the firmness of his step. He knows that he is taking part in a decisive moment in the history of humanity, and that he needs to change himself before he can transform the world. That is why he remembers the word of Lanza del Vasto. A revolution takes time to settle in. A warrior never picks the fruit while it is still green. Page 49. A warrior of light needs both patience and speed. The two worst strategic mistakes to make are acting prematurely and letting an opportunity slip. To avoid this, the warrior treats each situation as if it were unique and never resorts to formulae, recipes or other people's opinions. The Caliph Mu'ayyad asked Omr bin al-Az the secret of his great political skills. I never get involved in something without having first worked out my retreat. Then again, I have never gone into a situation and immediately wanted to run straight out again, came the answer. Page 50. A warrior of light often loses heart. He believes that nothing can stir in him the emotion he so desired. He is forced to spend many evenings and nights feeling that he is one of the vanquished, and nothing seems able to restore his enthusiasm. His friends say, perhaps his fight is over. The warrior feels pain and confusion when he hears such remarks, because he knows that he has not yet reached the place he wanted to reach. But he is stubborn and refuses to relinquish his aims. Then, when he least expects it, a new door opens.